Ever wonder what really separates a good company from a great one? A truly iconic one? Well, behind every brand you love and every service that just works, there's this hidden blueprint, a master plan for how they do what they do. Today, we're going to deconstruct that blueprint. We are talking all about operations strategy. So, how do they pull it off? Is it just about having a killer product? Or maybe a super clever marketing campaign? Well, yeah, that's part of the picture for sure. But the real, long-lasting advantage, it often lies way deeper, in a place most of us never even see. It's all about how they operate. Before we dive too deep, let's make sure we're on the same page. At its very core, a strategy is just the game plan, right? It's the long-term vision for how a company is going to create value and, stay ahead of the pack. Think of it as the big X on their treasure map. So, we have our destination on the map. But what does that journey actually look like? I mean, what does it really mean for a company to have a strategy in the first place? Here's a really powerful way to think about it from the legendary management guru Michael Porter. He basically says that strategy isn't about trying to be the best at everything. Nope, it's about being intentionally different. It's about making very specific choices to do things in a way that your competition just can't copy easily. Now, to really get this, we need to zoom in. See, strategy isn't just one single big idea. It actually operates on 3 different levels, kind of like going from a satellite view of the Earth all the way down to a street-level view. The best way to picture it is like an orchestra. At the very top, you've got corporate strategy. That's the conductor, deciding on the symphony for the night. Next level down is business strategy. That's how each section, the strings, the brass, the woodwinds, is going to play its part. And finally, we get to functional strategy. That's the individual musician, deciding exactly how to play their instrument to make the entire performance absolutely breathtaking. And that's exactly where we're going to focus today, that functional level, specifically operations strategy. Because this is where the music actually gets played. This is where all those brilliant ideas on paper finally turn into real, tangible action. So let's open up the playbook. How does a company's big, lofty goal, to be the cheapest or the most innovative, actually translate into the decisions they make every single day? Well, it all starts with one huge choice about how you actually make things. So, on one end of the spectrum, you've got what's called the project process. This is for the one-of-a-kind, super complex jobs. I mean, think about building a massive football stadium or developing a totally custom piece of software. Everything is unique. You need maximum flexibility and a huge variety of tasks. Now, if you take just one step down in scale, you get to the job shop process. This is still all about high variety and making custom stuff, but there's a bit more structure. A great example is a workshop that builds custom furniture. Sure, every table is unique, but the core skills and the processes, they're repeatable. And then, all the way on the other end of the spectrum, you have the line process. Here, variety is super low, but the volume is absolutely massive. This is your classic assembly line. This is the engine that powers a cost leadership strategy. It's built for one thing and one thing only, churning out thousands of identical items as cheaply and efficiently as humanly possible. And this brings us to a fundamental trade-off in business. A company has to make a choice. Do you want to be the bespoke tailor who can make anything you dream of? Or do you want to be the fast fashion giant that masters efficiency and insane volume? You simply cannot be the absolute best at both. And this one choice, it shapes everything else. But wait, how does a company even make a choice like that? They don't just pull a process out of a hat. The whole decision is driven by the most important thing of all. What does the customer actually want? Okay. This brings us to a really cool concept, order qualifiers versus order winners. Order qualifiers are basically the price of admission, the absolute minimum features you need to even be considered. For a car, that's having airbags and brakes, right? It gets you in the game. But order winners? That's what seals the deal. That's the feature that makes a customer point and say, I want that one. Think of a phone's incredible camera or a car's amazing fuel efficiency. These are the things that win you the business. And your entire operation system has to be built to deliver those winners flawlessly every single time. Let's make this super real. How does an online grocery delivery service like Checkers 6060 win in such a crowded market? I mean, what are they really selling you? Look, having a wide range of products, that's just an order qualifier. Everybody expects that from a grocery store. But their order winners, the real reasons people choose them again and again, it's speed and dependability.
And their entire operation strategy is built around that promise. From how employees pick items off the shelves, to their inventory systems, to the routes their drivers take, every single decision is designed to make them faster and more reliable than anyone else out there. And, when a company can align its day-to-day operations with its order winners like that, something really powerful starts to happen. It creates the ultimate competitive advantage.
Because a truly great operations strategy, it does so much more than just make stuff. It builds an edge that is incredibly difficult for anyone else to copy. It makes the company more adaptable, it boosts financial performance, and it builds a rock-solid brand reputation that's based on actually delivering what matters most to its customers. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Operations isn't just some boring department that costs the company money. When it's done right, it's not a cost center at all. It is the company's strategic, secret weapon. And that leaves us with one final thought. The next time you order a coffee, buy a Loop gadget, or use a banking app, just stop and ask yourself, what are their order winners? And what hidden operational choices did they have to make to deliver them to you? You might be surprised by what you find. Thanks so much for tuning in.